Welcome to the latest Motley Fool scoreboard. I'm Anand Chokkavelu, and we've got longtime fools Karl Thiel and Keith Speights giving a 1 to 10 rating to the company that provides the picks and shovels for studying the human genome. It's Illumina, ticker symbol ILMN. Talk about the strength of Illumina's business, including factors like industry and competition. A 10 is invincible. A 1 is hopeless. Keith's at a 6. Karl, you're at a 7.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about with Illumina, so I'm just going to leave some of them to Keith to talk about. But in addition to what I'm sure he's going to mention, just overall, they've been battling a really, really difficult market for a long time. Some of that is their problem, but a lot of it is just, macro issues and political issues that are largely outside of their control. And when I step back from them, I mean, they still have commanding market share. They're still making good products. They still, have great mind share among everybody who's using sequencing systems. So, I see their problems concentrated in two areas. Basically, mid-cap and smaller biotechs have fallen off because of, kind of macro issues. In the industry, they're not buying as many systems and not using them as much, and then academic and government labs. So that gives them a really sort of murky near-term outlook, but I just still think that with their position, the future looks better than it does today. And I'll talk more about this later, but I do just want to mention that Roche is a bit of a wild card in that view.
Yeah, Karl and I are actually on the same page, although our scores are a little different. In several ways, Illumina's business is in a more precarious position than it's ever been, maybe excluding when the company was a startup. But, Karl mentioned some of these, but there are restrictions in place on exporting sequencing instruments to China. That's a major market for Illumina. Tariffs are going to likely hurt the company's business. In the U.S., we have research funding cuts that will affect sales and are already affecting sales. And meanwhile, Illumina faces increased competition from the likes of PacBio and Oxford Nanopore and others that Karl alluded to. Still, the company does remain the industry leader. I mean, it absolutely dominates the market. And over the long term, I think the demand for sequencing should actually grow quite robustly. So things aren't all bad. But as I said, right now, things don't look great for this company.
For management, a 10 is Warren Buffett, a 1 is Homer Simpson. Keith's at a 4. Karl, you're at a 5.
Yeah, you can't talk about Illumina without talking about the Grail fiasco, and I'll leave it to Keith to say a little more about that. But that was just a clown show, and it's the main reason that Francis D'Souza is no longer running the business. It's also so when they brought in Jacob Thaysen, I mean, they brought in somebody from outside the company. He was from Agilent, which is not really surprising. I think they needed somebody from outside. He came into a really tough situation on a number of fronts, and he hasn't been there that long, so I'm just giving him a neutral 5.
And guys, I'll readily admit, I probably have a little case of sour grapes here. I owned Illumina shares several years ago when the company was going through all of the Grail fiasco, and I would have given the management a score of 2. For their abysmal handling of the ill-fated acquisition and the subsequent spinoff of Grail. But, as Karl mentioned, they have a newer CEO now. Jacob Thaysen didn't join the company until 2023. He isn't to blame at all for all of the mess with Grail. Still, Illumina's share price has fallen more than 20% since he took the helm. Again, not his fault. I mean, he's just having to address a lot of challenges right now. So I give him a 4, but with an asterisk that he needs more time to execute his strategy. And I think if you ask me the same question again 5 years from now, I would give him a much higher score.
Kind of an incomplete so far for Jacob Thaysen. Let's talk about financials. A 10 is a fortress. A 1 is yikes. Keith's at a 6. Karl, you're at a 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost hard to believe how good the balance sheet looks, honestly, when you consider they made this, $8 billion purchase of Grail that they had spun off and then repurchased in a very poor decision and were forced to divest it again. And they've been writing off billions of dollars in goodwill over the past few years. All that said, they have manageable debt. They have a lot more cash than they have debt, and they've stayed cash flow positive through the whole thing. So, I gave them a 7.
I went with a 6, and really it is a testament to Illumina's financial strength that the company isn't doing worse considering all the challenges it faces. However, total revenue is declining, which that dinged the score for me. Illumina has relied heavily on recurring revenue from sequencing consumables. That revenue is declining somewhat too, which that's concerning. Non-GAAP earnings were essentially flat in the first quarter of 2025, but the company does continue to generate solid profits. It's making more than enough money to invest in research and development that could pay off over the long run. So it's still in pretty good shape, all things considered.
Keith, let's move on to valuation. How well will Illumina stock do over the next 5 years? How safe is it? 10's a sure thing. 1's a lottery ticket.
Maybe 0% to 5%. The fact that I'm couching this as a question shows how uncertain I am. I would give a safety score of 3.5 maybe, because I could be totally wrong on this. A lot depends on what happens with trade policies and research funding and things that are totally outside of Illumina's control. I'm not overly optimistic on those fronts, though, but I could be wrong, and the company could deliver greater returns than what I'm anticipating.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of reason to expect much over the next year or so, but I still believe the company returns to growth in the not too distant future, just given, that overall demand for sequencing isn't going away and they command the market. So I'm going to optimistically say 5% to 10%, hopefully at the upper end of that. And I just want to mention again, Roche is hoping to enter the market with their sequencing by expansion technology, which could upend a lot of things if the actual commercial machines play out like some of the specs play out, not just for Illumina, but also for PacBio and Oxford Nanopore. So that will be really interesting. On the other hand, Roche has also tried to do this before and not made much progress. So we'll give them a safety of 5.
Time for everyone's favorite topic. Keith, is there a company in Illumina space you like more?
Anand, I think that Quest Diagnostics, ticker there's DGX, is a much safer pick than Illumina right now. Quest provides lab services to around half the physicians and hospitals in the U.S. Demographic trends are working to Quest advantage. The company also has ample opportunities, I think, to consolidate the lab market in the U.S. So if they're investors looking for a somewhat similar company in the same general line of business, Quest Diagnostics might be one to consider.
Yeah, and I know that the life sciences R&D capital equipment market's just been kind of tough all around. It's not just Illumina that suffered, but considering how badly they wanted Grail and that kind of liquid biopsy diagnostic space, I went for another company in the same space and said Guardant Health. Thanks
to both Karl and to Keith. They've given Illumina a surprisingly low overall score of 5.2 out of 10. Look out for a new scoreboard every market day at 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up is Viking Therapeutics. Till then, Fool on.